Great day, great day, great day. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Natasha L. Brown, moderator for Selflessly Selfish, healing evangelist, holistic advocate, author, and transformational speaker. And this is Lunchtime Love. And as you come in live or in the replay, just let me know that you are there. And you can say hello. If it's in the replay, you can just put replay. But definitely let me know you're there so that I know that you're watching if you're bold enough. So today we are going to be dealing with now is the time. Now is the time to be creative. Now is the time to operate in your purpose. Now is the time that many people are taking vacation. So definitely most people take vacations to rest and get away from their regular life. But what you want to do is use that energy to generate and create something new, right? So what we want to make sure that we are doing is operating fully in our purpose, creating and doing what we're supposed to be doing. And again, we've talked about before, everything that we've gone through is not always just for our learning. Sometimes it's so that we can encourage someone else. Sometimes it's for us to have empathy for someone else in a particular situation, especially if you were hard on someone in a particular situation and you find yourself in that situation. That is what we need to learn. And each life lesson should be that, a lesson. We should learn something in the situation that we can take and use and help someone else. It's not for us to get into a rut. It's not for us to get into a place where we are paralyzed, where we can't move forward, where we can't do what we need to do. So make sure as you go through life lessons that you do learn something, that you are able to help someone else, and that you don't get back in that situation. Again, as you come in, go ahead and say hello, whether in the replay or live, and let me know that you are there. And what is it that you do to get your creative, as they say, your creative juices flowing, your creative energy going in the right direction? What is it that you do in order to get that energy moving in the right place? And, many people suggest exercise, especially something as simple as walking will get your energy going in the right place, and it will help clear your mind depending on where you're walking. So something that simple, and maybe you're saying you're not creative, but guess what? We are made in the image and the likeness of God. So if we're made in Yahweh's image, when it says in Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We're made in God's image and his likeness, so we are creators. You may not be creative artistically, you may be creative in different ways, but we all have some form of creativity that is needed during our lifetime, or we would not be here. There is a purpose for us being here, or we would not be here. God makes no mistakes. God did not bring us here on purpose without a purpose. And I cannot stress that enough. It also says in Jeremiah 10:12, but God made the earth by his power. That same power resides in us. He founded the world by his wisdom and stretched out the heavens by his understanding. So, what is it that we are supposed to be doing? Where is it that we're supposed to be moving freely, where we are going to make such a difference that we change our world? So some things that we want to do, just a few things. Like I said, walking is a good one. It's a big one. If you look up creative juices and how to get them going, most people are going to suggest walking. For one, because as you work your body, you work your mind. For two, if you go somewhere different, you're going to see something different. And if you're taking in the surroundings, what begins to happen is you get creative ideas. You see something different, you hear something different, your senses will be heightened, your spider senses will be heightened, right? Your superpowers will kick in, which is your creativity and your purpose. Keeping a journal of ideas. As you get the ideas, I know for a long time, when we would travel in Atlanta, we would drive 20 or more minutes, always in the car. So whoever was sitting in the front seat had to write my ideas down and keep up with them. Now put them in my phone, but keeping up with them in a journal. And I do have a creativity journal, and one of the projects I'm working on suggests that we do that. So keeping up in one particular journal, not writing them on a sticky and putting them all over the house or all over your office, but keeping one particular journal for your ideas and where that creativity is. So when you get to a block, you can come back, look through the journal, and find out what the ideas were previously. Do something different. Again, walking can help that, especially if you go somewhere where you've not been before. Definitely making sure we're doing something different, something we wouldn't normally do. Taking a day and making sure, especially if you're taking a day off and you're not sick, then what you want to do is make sure that you get something in that you wouldn't normally do, especially if it's a weekday. You know what you can do during a weekday, because most people are at work. You can get a lot done during the weekday. So do something different. Take a media break. And I've talked about that before, taking time off from social media. And I know you're utilizing social media now, but taking time away from social media to get back in touch with yourself, get back in touch with your own ideas, not going based on what the mass media is saying or what people think about you. You know, many of those things are lies. Get back in touch with who God has called you and created you to be. Also, you could clean your office or your home. You know, you can do a little decluttering here, a little decluttering there. Always makes a big difference. As I've been decluttering and cleaning up, I have found things that I've been looking for. As I declutter and clean up, I am able to see better what should go where maybe I had something that's no longer serving a purpose. So do something different, do something creative, clean up, you know, mentally, your surroundings, your environment, because your space, especially your home space, is so sacred that you want to make sure that you have in it what should be in it. What brings you joy? What brings you life? What encourages you? What creates creativity for you? Is it a particular scent? Then get a diffuser, get a candle that smells like that. Do what is going to create creativity. We were never meant to be stagnant. We were never meant to sit still and not do anything. We were created to be just like our daddy. Action. We should always be moving. We should constantly be moving. And then when it's time for us to rest mentally and physically, then rest mentally and physically. But until then, we need to be serving a purpose and serving our purpose. So you can look within. And like I mentioned, many times we go through situations and we think, you know, the first thought for many people, depending on the situation, may be, why is this happening to me? Instead of why is this happening to me, you know, who else may be going through this? What am I to learn that I can help someone else? And it's easy to say that now, because I know when I would go through things, that would be the last thought on my mind. And God and I had a conversation, and he brought back to me and helped me remember, especially as I began to go through a divorce. I began to meet a lot of women that were going through divorces or had gone through divorces and had not healed. So that was not for, you know, it may not have necessarily brought glory to God because of the divorce, but being able to learn the lesson and move forward and do what needed to be done was the whole key for me. Now, you may have gone through a divorce and you still may be angry, you still may be frustrated, you may not have healed. But what is it that you learned that as you began to heal, as you began to do the work, you can share with someone else so that they can heal as well? So look within. What's frustrating, what's aggravating you? And that's how a lot of inventions have come about. Solving a problem. Look within. It's within you, your creativity. Also, like I said, making sure you have a journal somewhere that is organized, that you have all of the ideas in one place and not scattered everywhere else. Go outside, even if you don't want to walk. Stand outside for a few minutes if you don't want to sit on the porch. Stand outside for a few minutes and just look around. The next time you go somewhere, to a store or wherever you are away from your home, take a few minutes before you get in the car or get out of the car and take a look around and see what you see. Look differently. You know, Put on new glasses and look through those lenses with a different perspective about your surroundings. Pay attention as you're driving, but look and see what's new in your neighborhood, what's new in your area. Those things, those are something that you can go into and do something new, especially if it's somewhere you may not have necessarily gone if it wasn't in your neighborhood, right? Stop being a creature of habit. Yes, it's good to have routines. It's good to do, be organized and be punctual, have a schedule. But sometimes you need to do something that is not on the schedule. Do something that is not part of your daily routine or your regular habit. That will shake you up and get your creative juices flowing. Now is the time, right? Now is the time to do these things, especially while it's warm, because once the weather changes, many people will migrate back into their homes and they will want to stay there, especially once it's cooler in the evenings. They're not going to be out as much. So do all of this now, while people are out traveling. You may meet somebody from another place by coming out of your habit and doing something different, going somewhere different. Also, you want to make sure that you are not continuing with an idea that does not serve a purpose. It may have been a good idea at the time, but maybe it's not a good idea any longer. And you need to switch it up or look at it from a different perspective, or even have someone else look at it with you and see what they see. That's a good way to do it as well. Stop thinking. We overthink. I posted something yesterday about overthinking. Sometimes we will think so much that we never take action. And when we do that, it creates a block as well. So stop thinking and just allow the energy to flow and to move. Try different creative processes. And once you find out what works for you, choose more than one, just in case the one you choose doesn't work out and you have to go a different route. Make sure you have more than one way. Like I said, sometimes it could be something as simple as a scent, something as small as an essential oil that you put in a particular place on your body, right? So, what is it that's going to fuel your creativity? What is it that's going to give you the energy to do what you need to do? Going to the movies may help your creative flow, especially if you're writing a book or if you want to write a screenplay. That may help you. A lot of movies, it's rare that I go to the movies and cannot figure out the end before I get there. Many books, I'll start from the end and read backwards until I get to a point where it's not serving my purpose or I've gotten what I needed out of it and I can put it down. So it's not always about completing something that may be creative, but what is it that I can learn from the situation so that I can move forward with it? And you have to get in your mind, what is my purpose? And if you're not fully serving your purpose, how can I do that? And once you begin to serve your purpose, once you begin to walk in your purpose, you're definitely going to walk differently. Because the confidence of knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you carry yourself differently. Also, you're going to start affecting people differently. When you enter a room, people are going to pay attention, not because you entered the room, but because they can sense that you have the answer that they've been looking for. So definitely keep in mind what God has created you for, and don't allow yourself to get distracted. It's so easy to get distracted and to allow other people to distract us and make us think that we should be doing something else, especially if you are serving your purpose fully and you are making it look easy. And if someone needs your talents or your skills in their organization, then it's easy to get distracted, especially when money gets involved or when you're helping a friend or you are doing what you think you should be doing. Always ask yourself, is it serving your purpose? If it's not serving your purpose, then it's a distraction. It's not something, hello, bestie, it's not something that you need to continue with, and you need to make sure that you are on path and on track. How many of us have gotten to a situation where we've gotten off track, we've gotten distracted, We've started doing what everyone else is doing, and we forget about our purpose, our dreams, and our goals. And as women, many times when we start having children, we do that because we put our goals on hold, especially if the children were not factored into what we wanted to do. So some of us may go back to school after our children get a certain age. Some of us may never go back to school, even though that's a desire, because we forget about it. So write those things down, those things that you want to do, those things that you should be doing, and those things that need to be done. And ladies, as you come in, let me know that you are here live or in the replay, and just say hello. And in the replay, you can put replay, but definitely flow in what God has created you to do. Serve your purpose, because you never know who's watching, especially if you have children. They are watching you. Do you take time out for yourself? Do you take time to love yourself? Especially if you have daughters. Teach your daughters what self-care looks like. It's not just bubble baths, manicures, and pedicures, and makeup, and all of that. It's resting. It's eating properly. It's hydrating. Is taking time for ourselves and not blaming them because we weren't able to get that new pair of shoes or to get that new outfit. And not because you wanted it, but because it's something that you need in order to help you move forward in your purpose. For your job, you don't want to go to your job with clothes on that no longer fit, whether too big or too small, that may have had some type of damage done to them, and you need to get something new. I'm not saying go out, don't feed the children, and get what it is that you want. But if you need something, don't blame the children. Don't make children feel bad for you having them. It was your choice to get pregnant, and now they have to feel bad because you can't afford to do something for yourself. There are many things you can do that don't involve pampering that will help your mental and emotional self, and also teach your children how to treat you in the process, right? Even if your children are grown, are you teaching others that you love yourself? We say we love ourselves, but how do you know? Can you tell me, when I do women's sessions, especially young women, and everybody wants to raise their hand that they love themselves, and when I ask, how do you know, or what do you do to show it, most people can't answer. So what is it that you did this week since we talked last that showed you that you love you? And if it's been nothing, then definitely go ahead and do something today. Do something you want to do. Do something that will serve your purpose and will make you feel alive, make you feel like yourself, make you remember who yourself is. So I hope that something was said today that encouraged you to be and to operate fully in your God self, and not to be afraid to be who God created you to be. And if not, then inbox me and let me know what it is you would have liked to heard today, so that I can make sure that we encourage you in the right direction. But as always, I want you to remember, well, before I do that, remember that we're here every Tuesday, noon Eastern, for Lunchtime Love, and every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, for our time of encouragement and prayer. And if you're in the CSRA, definitely join Created Whole Ministries, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, every Thursday at 114 12th Street. I always get it twisted. 114 12th Street, which is on the corner of Reynolds and 12th Street. If you come in on the Reynolds side, we're in the white building, and we're there at 7:30, and we're having Bible study, the healing station, and you will be able to interact and get some great insight. So you can join us each week. And if you're not in the CSRA and you know someone in the CSRA, encourage them to join us. Each week is 7:30, 114 12th Street. 114 12th Street, the corner of 12th and Reynolds, and we are there 7:30 in the white building. Come in on the Reynolds side entrance and join us. And as always, remember that I love you, that self-love, self-compassion, and creativity. Right now, creativity are your superpowers. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Thank you for joining me.